What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Pancakes, and I'm so excited you could join me in this video I have planned for y'all today. Now, before we get started, you may notice, yes, I'm in a different place. I'm visiting family for a week, and I decided, why not record a video here for y'all? You know, a little change of scenery is always nice, so, have a video for y'all. Stick around till the end, because I have a little bit of an update for the channel. But with that said, let's jump right into it. Today's topic for the video is MSM monsters that I just don't like. Hate, you could say. Now, I know hate is a strong word, but I have a strong hate for these monsters, and I will explain. There are 4 of these monsters, technically 3.5, but we'll get into that when we get there. We'll get there when we get there. So, so 4 monsters I just hate. Bottom of the barrel, don't like them. Let's get started. For number 4 is actually Bookworm. Now, Bookworm is a love-hate relationship, but it still has hate in the name, so, it still works. Now, Bookworm, okay, so let's start with the positives about Bookworm. Number 1, Bookworm's a seasonal. I like all the seasonals. All 15 of them are amazing in their own right, and I love seasonal shanty. It's my favorite island. 2, Bookworm I actually think is a really creative concept for a holiday. So, normally the holidays for the seasonals are, typical holidays, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, those kind of holidays, normally, celebrated holidays. But then when the Og seasonals came, the rest of them, past Gobblegord, they started getting into more, creative ideas, like Day of the Dead, Lunar New Year, one of the staff of Big Blue Bubble's birthday. That is really creative, and I like it. And Bookworm probably has one of the most creative holiday ideas, being back to school. Now, time for the negatives. Number 1, the holiday, while being creative, I don't like it. I don't like that there's an entire monster based on back to school, because I don't like school. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of just mixing one of my favorite things with one of my least favorite things. So, you're not really going to have a lot of positives there. Another thing is that its design, compared to the other seasonals, is kind of boring. It's kind of just like a blue worm with 4 arms. Meanwhile, you have, Spirit has his own charm to it, okay? Spirit has his own charm. Even though he is just, a big ball of fluff with a hat, he's got charm. Monculus is actually really cool. Clavavera, love the skeleton seasonals. They're awesome. Jamboree's a giant cake, for goodness sakes. Yeah, those were just a couple of the examples. But that's really just it for Bookworm. Also, another thing I have to gripe about Bookworm is the fact that when Bookworm was released, people were saying, oh, yay, we finally have percussion that seasonal shanty needed. But, Clavavera's been around since the early stages of the shanty. Claves are a percussion instrument, guys. So, don't forget, Clavavera is a percussionist and came before Bookworm. Alright, so that's Bookworm covered. I'm not really going to have a lot of positive things to say about these next 3 monsters, because I just dislike them heavily. But let's start with the one I dislike the least, which is Weasel. Weasel is at number 3 for my least favorite monsters. Weasel is underwhelming. When the update with Hi-Hi-Hi and Weasel came out, I was, really excited, because Hi-Hi-Hi was, a super epic monster. He was awesome, he had an amazing sound, and while he was kind of underwhelming on Mythical Island, he still sounds awesome. 10 out of 10 monster, one of my favorites. I have him at level 20. But then Weasel, the other half of the update. Let's just say he did not meet the expectations that I would assume should be there in set because of Hi-Hi-Hi being there. Weasel, his design is kind of boring. I mean, compared to the other mythicals, compared to the other dream mythicals, it's a bit more, but, it looks ugly. Ugh. The weird little mouth thing that opens up, ugh, it's creepy. I don't like it. Hate it. Dislike it. Its sound is also terrible. I feel like they were trying to go for, something Shrub had. Shrub did it a lot better, does it a lot better. I like Shrub a lot better than Weasel. And compared to the other Dream Mythicals, Sporo, Bleaknik, Cranchy, even Pinghound now, it doesn't, it doesn't try and differentiate itself. I mean, like, I know all the dream mythicals are kind of like, they're all, like, different from each other, you know, Crunchy and Sporo are nothing alike. But, like, its concept in and of itself isn't anything new. It just kind of copied what Shrub does. And Shrub is a much better monster that you can get a lot easier. So, Weasel, don't like him. One positive thing I can say about it is, like, the way it gets to making it sound. Like, it's just like a wheel on, it's just a box on a wheel, and then it opens up the top, a hand comes out, and then it opens up its face, and then it makes the sound. I like that. That's a pretty creative concept. Now time for my 2 least favorite monsters in the entire game. These 2 are the bane of my existence, and I could literally rant about them for probably an hour, but I'm going to keep this not as long. These 2 monsters tie for being my least favorite. It is Pongping and Zinth. Now, I'm going to go over both of them. First off, Pongping. Pongping is utterly awful. It's only on 3 islands in the entirety of the MSM Monsters universe. It's on Amber Island, it's on the continent, and it's on Cave Island. It's not good on any of those islands. Its sound is utterly terrible. Like, me and my mom will always talk about monsters, and she'll say how Entbrat has a bad sound, and while he does have a pretty overbearing voice, his sound is not bad. Pongping's sound is bad. Entbrat fills his role. Entbrat does what he is supposed to be doing, and he does it good. Pongping does not do that. I don't know what Pongping is supposed to be to the song, but whatever it is not good at doing that. I will be honest. Also, its design sucks. It is one color, and maybe if it was a, you know, better looking color than purple, I have nothing against the color purple. I'm just saying I don't want to stare at it forever. Its design is kind of bad. It just looks like a purple slug, and that's stupid compared to the other fire monsters. Like, the other 9 fire quads all have a better design than Pongping. Pongping is the worst of all the fire quads, and I have ranted about Pongping in another one of my videos. Please go check that one out. It's ranking all the fire quads. Anyway, back on topic. Now for Zinth. Now, I didn't really recognize my disdain for Zinth for a while. You know, I mean, I thought Zinth was annoying, yes, but I wouldn't say he was my least favorite Woblin. That used to go to Creepskule. I didn't like Creepskule, but Creepskule's actually pretty cool now. But Zinth is bottom of the barrel, the worst Woblin that there is. All 19 of them, he's the worst, and let's go over why. So, Zinth was never really used the way he was supposed to be used. The way all the Woblins were supposed to be used, all 19 of them, was they'd get woken up, and then they'd play the sound, and you could build on the sound as you go. It's like a more creative way of building an island. And it is the best out of all 3 zapping islands, in my opinion. But Zinth, only requiring 1 egg of each, one of each of his eggs, you could, in theory, get a new Zinth every day. And that, my dear friends, is where the term Zinth Farm was invented. Now, for those of you who are unaware of what a Zinth Farm is, let me please explain. A Zinth Farm is basically where a person will put a whole bunch of Zinths on their island, a whole bunch of Zinth statues, wake them up one at a time, and then by the end of it, they have like an island full of Zinths, and they'll be getting tons of currency a day. Gems, food, shards, coins, all of that. They would get a ton of it every day. But in the update that created rare Woblins, and I believe it was the final wave of Amber Island when Gnarls came around, and Echo of Eco, they actually made a change to the Woblins and how they produce resources. And this was implemented in Polarity. Now, Polarity is when a Woblin is nearby a Woblin it likes, it'll produce its currency faster. When it's by a Woblin it doesn't like, it'll produce currency slower. Meaning that Zinth farms are now less optimal because the Woblin Zinth liked was probably the most inconvenient Woblin that it could like, Timpa. Now, the reason Timpa is so annoying is because it it's one of the 2 hardest woodlands to wake up. So if you wanted to have an effective Zinth farm, you'd have to wake up 1 Timpa for every Zinth. And that is annoying, because I don't want to have to teleport 24 Drumplers into it, and that is really annoying. So Zinth farms just annoy me. Zinth annoys me, because nobody ever uses Zinth for how it's supposed to be used. And the fact that people just put a bunch of Zinths on the island is annoying, because Zinth sound sucks too. Zinth has a terrible noise. It has the worst sound out of all 19 woodlands. And I will reiterate this till the day I die. I will die on the hill. Also, its design is boring. All the other woodlands are really cool. Like, Brump is kind of like a combination of Thwog and Furcorn. Thwog kind of looks like the rest of the Pomley with a really long tongue. I'll get into that later in a different video, maybe. Dwumroll has hidden arms, and Poke, he has a Plague Doctor mask, and he plays on a pipe organ, and that is really cool. All 4 of the other original woodlands, all 4 of them, they all are much cooler than Zinth. Zinth sucks in comparison to all the monsters. All the rest of the woodlands, all the rest of the monsters in the game, Pong Ping and Zinth, suck. Both of them. I'm gonna die in the hill that they will never get better. Nothing can make them better. Now, yes, their rare designs do look kind of cool, where Pong Ping is actually really awesome, and Rare Zinth it's a step up from regular Zinth. I don't think that a monster should require its rare form to look good for it to be a good monster. I don't think it should rely on that. So that was my 4 least favorite monsters in the game. 4 monsters I hate. And that bookworm doesn't really count. It's a love-hate. Now, time for the updates on the channel. We're really close to 25 subscribers. We're at 19. That's 6 away. And I was thinking maybe I could do something special for y'all when we hit 25. So if y'all have any ideas on what y'all want me to do when we hit the 25 subscribers, go ahead, comment it. And I will read every comment that y'all write. I'll take into consideration every idea you give me. So, yeah. Now, the next video I have planned, if it is not the 25 subscriber special, it'll be a big video. I know I've promised big videos in the past, and I have never gotten around to doing them. I am so sorry. But I promise the next video I make for y'all will be a big one. I promise y'all that. What I can tell you now is that it's about a video game I'm going to make in the future. That's all I'm going to tell y'all. So, I hope you enjoy. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Be sure to comment ideas for the 25 subscriber special. Thank you for watching.